Thokozani bogogo nomkhulu salukwase ndoda lezogogo bathini mbathi mavula kuvala imizwa yamadoda. U-Auntie Usha, your number one locksmith. Today we're talking about pride and success. We are talking about one of the weapons that has destroyed many people. Pride has Pride has locked many people inside their homes. Pride has locked many people inside their comfort zone. Pride have destroyed many potential relationships. Pride has destroyed many job opportunities. Pride has destroyed many opportunities, general opportunities. Pride iyanyisa. Pride I think this is another topic, It's another topic, really. Pride will show you flames. Pride and funny enough, this pride that we're talking about today, sorry guys, I'm also fixing my camera. This pride that we're talking about today, you become comfortable when you have pride, egos. Pride comes in easily. It's easy to achieve pride. It's easy to wear the head of pride. It's easy to, how can I put it? It's easy to invest on pride. It comes easy, meaning it is so easy to destroy yourself. It's very easy to end your life. It's like killing yourself. Killing yourself, lalela. Let me give you a tip to commit suicide. Killing yourself is very easy. Yes, it takes a lot of courage. But as soon as you reach that courageousness or whatever, it's easy. Whether fire out, boo, ba, whatever that you decide to do, it is easy. However, to live the honest life, to live the life that is fulfilled with joy, it's like whereby things starting to happen, it is difficult. So it is up to us really to decide, after we have decided we want to be wealthy. After we have decided we want to be wealthy, the question is, how far are we willing to come closer to our pride and say, this and this and this and this and this. Just pick up 5 things to say A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 23, 4, 5. My pride is not required here. Just 5 things in your life that you should pick up and say your pride, it's not needed. It's not going to be relevant for these 5 things that you have. And I'm not going to give you examples. You know what 5 things that are key elements of your life, and pride has destroyed them. There are people today who are not working because of pride of telling that guy to say, I need a job. Not that you want it, you don't want it, you need it. It's a need. there are people that they have job opportunities, but they are being told or they've heard ukuthi usibani bani uyachoma akafakani emsebenzini. Yeah, that one, he'll never give you a job. That one, he's very selfish. That one, he's the one that wants the family to worship him or her. That one, this one. And that one prefers to put their friends. And only to find that their friends, they do not have the same pride you have. Their friends, they are able to lower themselves, if you may use that word, or their pride, they are able to swallow their pride and say to that person, I need a job. Please help me. I need a job. You are skilled and you are educated and you are stuck in your profession. You don't want to do anything else that is in a lower standard. Hey, there are people that are selling cakes, are selling amakota. They are working as domestic workers. They are working as petrol attendants because of they have swallowed, Kanje. They've swallowed their pride and they've done what it takes for them in that particular time to do. For them to achieve the bigger things. They've accepted, Oguchi, as much as I'm educated or as much as I'm destined for that, as much as I dream of becoming what, however, my life says to me, now, this is where I belong. How many times have we seen security guards? There is a lady, she was a security guard. I saw it on social media because I use social media in a different way compared to other people who are using it in a negative way. There's a lady who was a security guard. She worked as a security guard. What is she today? Medical doctor. There's a guy who was a petrol attendant. One guy from Shell. He's now a lawyer. One guy from Shell as well. He's a doctor. One guy from Engine Garage. It's a lawyer. The list is endless of people who have swallowed their pride. How many domestic workers do you know, former domestic workers, they are medical doctors today? Today, they are medical doctors. There's a lady who's an advocate that I know. She used to be a domestic worker. And guess what? That lady that I'm saying I know, she became a domestic worker with her qualifications. Not that she was studying while she was working. No, with her qualifications. But the situation at home was so bad that she had to do something about it. Something needed to be done. And she became a domestic worker for 2 years. 2 years. 2 years as a domestic worker. And on the terrible family, one of the tribes that are terrible is treating individuals. Terrible. Gokomina, she said, Gokomina, I've washed underwears of menstruation with my bare hands, but with so much smile. And Utukoko, I defeated the negativity, the toxicness of that family. I defeated them because I went in with my tears because I needed a job, but I left there with so much smile. They were shocked to realize Uti, she's a lawyer by profession. She studied that. She saved articles and everything. But there was something that needed. I don't know. Somehow she said, Koko, I had a choice to wait for some few months in Yana and everything. But this family was paying better salary compared to other domestic workers, as I was told by the agent. And I said to myself, I can make use of that money because there was something spiritual that she needed to get to work on and everything. She was not ready to work as a lawyer. Today, she's an advocate. What a story. What a story. It's not a fairy tale story. It's something that you know about, you have heard about, maybe something similar to it. And trust me, the grandfather of the family, because it was a grandfather and it was a family, and then it was the children and the grandchildren. The grandfather of the family once had a problem, and she was there in the house. She had the problem over when they were talking over the phone and everything. And she quickly did a research and found the mentor and what. No, this thing can be solved this way and everything. Whatever, it was not done legally to this old man. And this helper went to the old man on the few days before the end of the month, before she left the house after 2 years. And she advised the grandfather to say, you need to do A, B, C, D, E. The case we are dealing with, it's illegal. What they did to you, it was not lawful. These are the laws and everything. This is what you should do. If you need help, I can assist you. And Uchokoko, the look the old man had, and as he takes a tea from the lady, it's like, when auntie, where auntie was on papela, that look. But the old man digested that. And the old man swallowed his pride and asked her to say, how do you know about this information? So, guys, pride will destroy you. Lalela, it's only on family channels like these. It's only on family-orientated channels like these whereby you're going to get this information for free. For free. Pride. There are people abangakwazi ukuthi, can I please? Thank you. I am sorry. I forgot. I didn't mean to. Can I please? There are people who don't know those key words. Not because they don't know them. Their egos, their pride. Don't allow them to do that. There are people who have lost their job just because they couldn't say, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. There are people who are not getting deals because they cannot swallow their pride and say, can I please get an extension? I can see Guti, I'm wrong. I'm behind schedule. Just to write that letter, expressing yourself, apologizing. Then to run to a healer. Koko bathini nginebhadi yazi amadile angiluza. I'm losing deals left, right, and center because of pride. There are people who decide to do the worst rather than to apologize. They don't see themselves apologizing. They don't see themselves humbling themselves. NgesiZulu kuthiwa wehlele ngenzansi uxolisi, ngiyayithanda ngesizulu. Kuthiwa awukwazi ukwehlela ngenzansi, awukwazi ukuzehlisa njengomuntu uxolise, uzithobe, uzilahle, uzineke. And unfortunately, awukho umuthi. There's no muti that can get rid of your pride. You can go to India, Jamaica, Portugal, Indonesia, Durban or Dubai, Paris or Paris. I don't care where you can go. There's no muti that will get rid of your pride. Unfortunately. There are people that says, Gogo, I've fallen so much that I have pride, and my egos, my pride doesn't allow me to go and back on the person that is now my senior. I used to be the boss of that company. Now I need to report to this young man, to this young girl, and everything. That pride uzulala ngendlala. There are people today who are in jail just because of pride. Pride. Guys, pride will destroy you. Pride will destroy you. I can't remember who was it, but definitely is no longer my friend, who asked me, Oguti, I was asking my son to say, can you please do this for me? And he said later, hey, Mbata, hey, you are scared of this wife. And I'm saying, why? And I said, I heard you saying to your son, please, I don't ask a child, I tell the child, you have a problem. Then you have a problem. And I'm glad he's no longer my friend, whoever he is. That's why I even forgot who was it, because I don't keep such people in my life. There are people who have a pride to say, my son, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. My daughter, my baby, you're right. I'm wrong. I apologize. I'll do better next time. It starts there. It starts with those basic things. Baby, I'm wrong. I've done something wrong. I'm wrong. Uzehlise and apologize. I do remember at some point, my wife said to me, bathina kwazi ukuxolisa, bathina kwazi ukuncenga, bathina une pride. She once said that to me, and she was right. I didn't tell her that, but I've just changed. She was right. I was one person who found it difficult to humble myself. My ego levels were very high at some point, very high. And I did not see that. But after I've done self-introspection, founding myself, getting to understand who Batini is, and then I've realized such things. Uguti, she was right. I had pride. And then I was not working. And things that she was suggesting that I could have done, I had pride. Pride was on my face. I couldn't see myself, for example, working at a call center. But after I've swallowed my pride, one of the things that I've done was to work for Goodfellas. They have a head office in Cape Town. Yes, driving drunk people's cars in the evening. The law-abiding citizens who understand which when they are drunk, they are not supposed to drive. There's a company called Goodfellas. I think there's other companies now, but one of the biggest companies is Goodfellas. They're based in Cape Town, but they've got drivers all over the country. You call them, you have a membership with them, you call them, they'll send 2 people on the car, and then one guy will jump into your car, drive you to your home, make sure everything is fine, and then you lock yourself, whatever, and then they jump back to their car, and then they leave. And when I worked that for that company, it was the lowest paying thing. I think we're getting around 35 rand per ride. 35 rand per ride. And we capitalized on our tips. You know, drunk people, they've got good heart. Yeah, Ita was net izwezik. So these drunkards, they gave us tips. They would give us and good tips. Sometimes you get a tip, and as a driver you were getting more tip than the guy in the car, you know. So if I got 200 rand tip and it's 200 rands, I'll get into the car and say, guy, we have 100 rand. I'll drop him another 100 rand. Then it's mine. I was the one who was driving. He's gonna get more money. But I swallowed my pride and I did that job. I remember going to buy, I had a black pants, to buy a black shirt because you need to dress all black. I swallowed my pride and I did that. And at least, I didn't even have a bank account then. So I was using her bank account. At least we managed to have bread. Basic stuff. Onion is finished. Salt is finished. Small things. Because she used to buy the whole grocery for the house. So small things I used to take care of. I remember when my mom said to me, you can't rely on your wife as a man. Take my card, my SASSA card, and then you so that you can buy bread and everything. I refused for a good month or two. But I swallowed my pride and I took that card from my mom because my mom is assisting me to become a better man to my family. How many people who have never typed with a background of the media or background as an engineer, whatever profession you are, but to have another CV as a driver? I used to teach isiZulu to white kids, part-time. And I used to make small money. It was my secret. I was embarrassed to now I'm teaching isiZulu. But I understood. I knew exactly what to teach. I mean, isiZulu, it's a tone language. So to me, the approach that I had, it has helped many white people in learning isiZulu. And I was teaching their kids isiZulu and everything. Kids that they can call me today and say, hey, Gogo, nyakbona, iwena a TV. Hey, wey, Gogo, I'm so proud of you. You know, because, you know, a language is something that you need to practice because they are not being practiced in now for more than 20 years. Now they forgot most of the things. But I used to do that. Why? Because I've swallowed my pride. Guys, I remember a friend of mine, Solomon Sitole, who was selling Amapacks in the township in Orlando. And I went to Solomon and I said, hey, Solomon, I can see your business is booming. Wenza ngani? Athiwa imbatha ilula. Solomon told me, imbatha ilula. I buy my things at Edenvale, my packs there. It's a plastic packs. It's different colors and everything. Go for it, Mgwanami. Mina, I'm selling Orlando. You can also sell Orlando. I said, no, I'll go and sell at the Kloof. When I continue selling in Orlando, Mina will go to Dietlof. And he said, but you cannot go to Dietlof with a heavy sack full of packs. You can sell on your way there. I don't have a problem. Buy me cookie. I said, yes, you're right, Solomon. Let me do that. And I did. I swallowed my pride because I could see the situation at home. It was not of its best. It was getting worse and worse. And I had to man up and do something about it. Guys, if you're not willing to swallow your pride in this world, we're in the wrong place. Guys, get yourself something like this and kill yourself. Because if you're not willing to swallow your pride, there's no muti that can assist you. Unfortunately, there is no muti that can assist you. You can go anywhere. You can go argue with your friends. You can do whatever that you want to do. I'm telling you now, and I don't want you to remember this video. There is no muti for pride. There is no muti for pride. You need to swallow that pride on your own and do what needs to be done. And swallowing pride doesn't mean you're allowing people to walk on top of you. You can swallow your pride and still have your boundaries. And when you swallow your pride, no one has to know what you used to have. I was a teacher. I was a lawyer. Ungangitsheli kanje, mina I have a qualification. Don't treat me like this. I'm very educated. The pride. The argument is not about your education. It's not about your education. I remember working for Media 24, and the guy in transport department called us, came to the newsroom, and he told the drivers that there's a meeting and we need to go to the newsroom. So they came to the newsroom, the drivers and their manager, and we sat there and we were puzzled. What is happening? And the guy said, the manager said, guys, was telling us, guys, from now, never call the drivers. These guys, they're now, from now on, you not have to call them drivers. They don't like that, and they've expressed that, all of them, and I had to do something about it. From now onwards, you call them pilots. Then we laughed. Pilots? I mean, you're a driver, and now you are a pilot. Why? Because they don't want to be called drivers. Why do you don't want to call drivers? Because of pride. Pride makes you not to accept your title. Because you feel if you are called a driver, you are being undermined. This young man is a journalist, is a photojournalist, it's an editor, is whatever profession people wear upstairs there, and then they want to tell me what to do because of my driver. Yes, you are the driver. If the direction says turn left, you need to turn left. Because it's your job to drive that car. And driving, it's a profession, if you don't know. Being a security guard, it's a profession. Being a gardener, it's a profession. It's a job. But people don't want to be called with their titles. I'm not a taxi driver. What driver are you? Are you a pilot? You are a taxi driver. I remember catching a taxi from Empangeni to the airport. And the guy, when he went to the taxi, and he said, sanibonani mfoka mthetho lona taxi driver. Mina ngiyayiqhenya mina ngokuba taxi driver. Ngina 3 abafazi ngokuba taxi driver. 3 wives. Ngemali yokuba taxi driver. Taxi driver ungangibiza ngokuthi noma ngathi ngomakezi empompini, it's fine. That's me. And we laughed. He broke the ice, and we laughed. And the way he was carrying himself as a driver on the road, the way he was speaking. I remember this one lady said she was so pressed to go to the loo. And he asked the driver said, Bakibeli senizwile kunomuntu ofana ukuthi aye toilet, and I'm going to stop at a garage. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, because of it's a matter of emergency. She needs to go to the toilet. And we laughed again about it. So the whole journey, plus minus around 2 hours from Empangeni to the airport, I enjoyed it. Because I was driving with somebody who does not have pride, who understand. There are people that are going by Otwala and get whatever, then they come back, but those things are not working for them because of pride. There's somebody akakwazi ukugabha because of it doesn't look good. There's somebody they don't want to steam when they get to the healer's place because of it's not hygienic. There are things that they don't want to do because of they have pride. There's no motive for pride. Actually, if you have a pride, stay away from muti. Go to church, ubomzalwane, pray. Maybe there you'll get people like you who have pride and everything. There are people who cannot visit their siblings, their home, because of pride. Now he's working as what? Now he's driving what? Now he's of this business, now he's of that, and everything. It's pride. There's no motive for pride. Lalela, you go the entire world looking for that muti. There isn't. Others, they are looking for wealth in the wrong places because of pride. Have you seen this thing that I used to think that foreign people, we support them because of their stock. They have stock. They have all the stock in there. Let's not talk about counterfeit kind of things. They stock, they have everything. What? I used to say that. I used to think that, no, if you go to a Pakistan of my friend's store, you'll find everything there. What? No, I was lying. It's because we have pride to support the locals. We don't support the locals because we have pride. We don't want to empower them. We don't want them to be rich. Black people, South Africans, they do stock. There are shops that they stock, but they are not selling because of pride. There are people that do not support your business because of pride. They will go and buy exactly the same thing somewhere else because of their pride to support the person they know. There are people that they cannot come to you and ask for the job because of the pride they have to say, how can I ask for the job from that lady? She grew up just in front of me. Pride. There are people who cannot call their ex, you know your ex, who is working somewhere, just to say, hey, my ex kunjan, hey nyaphila, hey man, sorry man, I know I did you wrong. However, I need your help. Can you please assist me with this? Pride. Sometimes your ex calls you. Hi, kunjani nyaphila? Right. Muntu wami. Hi man, I heard that you are no longer working. What's wrong? No. Who told you that? They're lying. Who told you that? No, I'm fine. Unamanga, malambane. Unamanga. You're not fine. Ulambile. Wenja. You're not fine. Pride. And this ex calls you because they want to assist you. They are not calling you because they want to shine. Somebody was shining on them, but it hit home. They know what kind of a good person you could be or you were to them. They want to return the favor. They want to do something for you, but because of the pride, then they say, oh, okay. Then they close the phone. Then you call them 6 months down the line and say, hey man, isn't says they're better. That time when you called, things were fine and everything. And they say to you, no, there was an opportunity at that time, but it's no longer available. So I can't assist you for now. And I'm rushing to the meeting. Can you talk again later? And then they close the phone. And then you are angry. They were rushing to the meeting. Lalela, there's nothing personal. They were rushing to the meeting. Whoa, hold your horses. They were rushing to the meeting. That's it. Don't take it personal. Remember when they made time for you were what? You had pride on top of you. So now you found them at the wrong time. They were rushing to the meeting that they were not afraid to be presented. The meeting that was held by somebody who's much younger than them, but because of they understand ukuthi singabanda silingani. Pride and success. It's up to you, Nganza Wetu. What we want to achieve in life. The people who went to buy the most expensive cars because of the pride to drive the same car as Ukoko Batini, but Polo. They didn't want to drive Polo because they feel what will people say if they see me driving a Polo? What will people say if they see me driving a Polo? There are people who are wearing most expensive clothes that they could not afford because of egos, pride. Pride, especially men. Yeah, I'm a daughter in pride, Bafetu. That's why I've changed my gender, to be Ukoko Batin. Yeah, men have pride, guys. Men with their egos. I know women have pride as well, but women will lower their standards, most of the time. Women will do what it takes for them to survive. Women will do that and everything. But men with their pride, pride. Some people will have so much pride that whenever they're willing to get rid of their pride is when they're drunk. And that is the worst thing to do. It's a worst thing to do. Pride. How many people do you know when they're drunk, they'll tell you how much they had, how much they've achieved and lost, what they used to be, where they used to live, what they used to dress. How many people do you know that when they're drunk, they speak English? Or, hey, Brad, Afrikaans. Hey, Brad, because Shabil, Zegakum, Afrikaans. How many people do you know? How many people have you looked at them and say, I wonder why she's not working, he's not working. I wonder what happened. He's such an intelligent individual. It's pride. It's pride. It's pride. Guys, I can talk this for 3 hours or more. Pride. There are people who cannot stop drinking alcohol through fellowships that can assist them, like AA. Because of what? Pride. What will people think of me if they can see me at the AA meeting? What will people say about me? I remember when I went to the convention, I've asked myself, in terms of when you register online, I've asked myself, what name must I put there? I said, no, let me put Gogo, because I'm known as Gogo Batin. So, as in AA tradition, you use your first name. Then I've used Gogo. And I've met so many people that knows me on social media. Guess what? None of them looked at me and said, oh, now it's Dagwa. How? Actually, they were happy. They were welcoming. Why they were happy? Why they were welcoming? Because I've swallowed my pride. I said to myself, I need help. And I'm going to go and get help no matter what. I don't care who knows me and that will decide to criticize me. The bottom line that I'm going to get help. And I went for help. And I'm still going for help till today. Because alcoholism recovery, it's a lifetime process. Because an alcoholic is always an alcoholic, as long as he does not drink again. That's why membership of AA, it's a desire to stop drinking. We are not there. We're still going to do a video about it. But I'm closing this video with that so that I give you an idea to say there are people who are suffering out there with something, but because pride does not allow them. My sponsor was telling me about sometimes priests, they come to AA or they phone AA and they say they need help. But as they need help, there's a pride that they wish they can have a different Alcoholics Anonymous that is more anonymous than what it is, because they don't want to be seen. Maybe a congregant that is there would, oh, now we put this, no, we have shaba. Oh, pastor, I thought as much to kulmaga kuleson to anyone. Pride. How many people that you know that are looking for help because of they don't get it because of pride? How many people do you know who are HIV positive and they don't want to take ARVs? Why? Because if you go to the clinic, I think there's a special room here in Dlangoba, they call it Endlini Emhlophe. There's a special room. So if you come into the clinic, if you go to that room, everybody will know to say, yeah, track at D1. But they have a pride to be seen going to that room. So they are compromising their health because of they don't want to be seen going to that white room. You see how many angles of pride that can destroy your life? Do you see how many angles of pride that you can destroy life. You know you cannot afford that car anymore. You need to downgrade so that you keep your credit score on point. But because of pride, you don't see yourself driving a Polo from driving whatever car you were driving. Pride. You know you can not afford this house anymore. And this house, you can rent it out and go and hire a small apartment and live there. But because of pride, ila, pezu, there's many things that you know, Uguti, you can downgrade. You know, you are not used to this kind of thing. But for now, because downgrading is not permanent, for now, because something can change tomorrow. Your financial situation can change. But for now, you need to do this. But pride overtakes you. Pride just gets in. Pride just gets into your way. And it leaves you with what? With nothing. Unfortunately, it leaves you with nothing. Nothing to take you home with. What do you get after expressing your pride? What do you achieve after you have shown people how much, what's your highest level of pride? How much do you get? Nothing. What do you achieve? Nothing. That's a disadvantage of pride. Guys, there's a difference between pride and not having boundaries. There's a difference between pride. I'm not saying that people must just do anything and everything. No. Let's go and visit our dictionaries and find out what is what is the definition of the word pride. I know of my friends. I'll say my friends because he's married to my sister. In terms of the surname, they've rented out their house. They went to rent a place so that they downgrade because their finances, they were not allowing them to pay the bond. They swallowed their pride. They've accepted, we can't afford this bond. They left their house being rented and they went to recover financially. When they recovered, they went back to their house. They are now staying in their house. It's not being repossessed. It's still there. How many people can think of that? As a couple, working together to say, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. They were driving a bigger car. They sold that car. They went to a smaller car, which is Polo. And they are driving that car with pride because they don't have pride. They don't have egos. They were not afraid to downgrade. Now they're driving a car that is cheap in terms of affordability every month. It's cheap in terms of affordability, in terms of the fuel consumption. They've won. It's an achievement for them. They've downgraded the car. They went back to stay somewhere, then they came back. Now they can afford their day-to-day things that they needed to do. Why? Because of they swallowed their pride. When you swallow your pride, the good thing about swallowing your pride is that you are showing up for yourself. You are doing things for yourself. It becomes personal when you swallow your pride. When you swallow your pride, it's when you are not doing for anyone but for yourself. But if you are not swallowing your pride, you want to exhibit your pride, you are doing for other people, not yourself. There's a huge difference there. There's a huge difference. Take that money and use it somewhere else. Because if you think muti or wealth is going to make you a better person with that pride, with that stinking pride, with that stinking attitude, you are wrong. Gogo bathini salukwasenda to gogo bathini mbathi mavula kuvala emzama madoda Auntie Usha. Guys, I would like to close by saying for the next 3 months, which is May, June, July, until the 31st of July. The consultation, ukuhlola, it's a pair of school shoes. It's a pair of school shoes, not the 300 rand. In the midst of things that needs to be done by money, in terms of maintaining my calling, and you guys to get help, to have a conducive waiting area with tea and coffee and biscuits, especially winter coming. With all of that, something in me spiritually said to me, there are kids that are going to school without school shoes. And those kids that do not have school shoes, most of them, they don't make it to finish school. Most of them, they end up on the streets. Then we no longer call them kids, we call them amapara. We no longer call them our siblings, we call them amapara. And those paras, they don't go there and destroy foreign species. They go there and destroy people's lives, which is our lives. So from now onwards, for the next 3 months, you just bring a pair of shoes for consultation and a 5 rand coin. That's all. Then we'll do the consultation, and then if we continue with the ritual and whatever, and then the cost will imply accordingly. So please, and even if you don't want to do a consultation, however you want to come and donate shoes, that would be highly appreciated. Please, I had an opportunity to be with Nkosi Mzimela on his birthday. What a great opportunity I had with him. And he, when Nkosi spoke about how he felt when he saw a child without school shoes, I could sense, because I couldn't look at him in his eyes, but I could sense his tone, what it changed from other conversations we had when we spoke about that part of thing. Because why we spoke about it, because I used to do that every year to donate for kids and everything. So that program is open. Please guys, donate school shoes. Call the office for donations of school shoes. Send us vouchers. Send us shoes. We'll collect them from PEP, from everywhere. And if you have financial strength, financial muscles, or strong unyanyan, 2 pairs of shoes will do. 3 pairs of shoes will do. I know there are people who can go out of their way into the taverns and buy booze. If you want to make me happy, or as a sign of appreciation for what I've done for you, you can bring pairs of shoes. If you can afford 10 pairs of shoes, that will be appreciated. Let's make the difference. Let's make a difference to that child who is from the disadvantaged family than we are. We can make it. A pair of shoes is cheaper than whiskey. It's cheaper than the bottle of whiskey. It's cheaper than a day of you being drunk. So this can go a long way. Please, 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 let's do good for our future families. Thokozani.